Jody, you can go ahead.
You said on Saturday you were kind of unsure, like how you were going to plan this week. Like you were going to figure some things out, and did you give them some rest? Do you do some individual stuff? What did you do when you have a few days off?
Yeah. So I mean, the way we structured the week was Monday, Tuesday, hard practice, just about us, preseason, not as much focused on an individual opponent. And then yesterday was academics, rest, recovery, and then we go today and tomorrow in our normal 2-day prep, get ready for a game.
Pat, earlier this week, Mike Hill said on social media that he will be returning to practice. Has he actually made his return? And if so, how is he progressing? How has he looked so far?
Yeah, we worked him into practice those first 2 days. Obviously, we were off yesterday, and he seems to be doing well. Just continue to ramp him up and see how things go.
Are there a few things in your mind when you look at this team that you need to address, that you need to get better? Like when you go to those, you say kind of preseason practice, were there a couple things that you really needed to work on?
We just, our basics, right? Working on us is working on our core system on the offensive and defensive end. Everybody has things that they need to clean up and need to work on. And, nothing specifically, just very well-rounded, working on our system on both ends. And I thought we had great 2 days of practice, came out of them healthy. Yesterday, like I said, off day, and then excited to prepare these next couple of days to get ready for a really dangerous, really well-coached Virginia Tech team.
Yeah, did you catch their game last night? Have you been able to dive into that yet? And just, you obviously speak very highly about Coach Young. Just on what stands out about his team to you so far this season.
Yeah, I see an NCAA tournament team. I see an NCAA tournament team. They are playing very, very well. I mean, it's well chronicled, just the gut-wrenching couple of losses that they've had. Freak things, half-court shots, stuff like that. But they are a very connected team. They are very well coached. The weapons, and they're dangerous at a bunch of different positions. And then you mentioned Coach Young. I've known him for a long, long time. He's as respected as any tactician and coach as there is in the country. So they're obviously very, very well schooled. They're tough. They play hard. Big challenge. And we need a big home atmosphere this weekend. So this is my old shout out to the fan base, because I know the biggest storm in the history of the world is coming supposedly. That's a God thing. The two things that are God things are, so when you guys ask me about, is it going to play, are we going to play, is it what, the two God things are snowstorms and injuries, which that's kind of in his hands. But, we haven't even talked about, our mentality is, the game's going on. As long as Virginia Tech can get here, we can turn the lights on. If you have to shovel the driveway, if you have to blow snow off, if you have to go turn the car on for an hour before, get that thing nice and warm again, borrow your neighbor's 4-wheel drive, but get your butt down to the Yum Center, because like I said, this is going to be a big time ACC contest against two really good teams, and we could sure use that Yum roar in a huge home court environment. So students, same thing. As long as the game goes on, which I'm assuming it is. Yes.
Yeah.
Figure out a way. Get down there. Do we have like buses going down there and stuff like that? Do we have transportation?
No,
or anything like that? I
there's a
just
garage
totally
we can park
put
in.
you on the spot. But we need our students down there. We need our fans there. I'll be there. I can promise you that. And need a lot of help, because it's going to be a big time challenge and a big time game.
Coach, as far as just individual players are concerned, who have you seen on film that kind of sticks out for Virginia Tech, and who may be a thorn in your guys' side going into the
I mean, you know me, I say numbers, not names. Even if we're playing the 96 Bulls, I would say I would say 23. So, you know, obviously, you know, the freshman 17 is kind of the ACC's version of Luka. He's just a 6'9" point guard, man. He is uber talented and dangerous in a bunch of different ways. I hate naming individual guys because I'm gonna leave somebody off, but like, you know, 13 is just a flat winner, and he just affects the game in winning ways constantly, and he's tough, and he's smart, and he's rugged, and he just kind of like is one of the glue piece. It's not glue piece because he just makes it go in so many ways. 3, who was a freshman last year, who just went at Chucky Hepburn, and I earned a ton of respect for him by how he attacked last year as a freshman, and now as a sophomore you can just see it squinting your eyes, the confidence that he's playing with, and he really affects the game on both sides of the floor. 2 is just that guy that like he just, you know, Coach Young puts him in a lot of positions as an elite shooter that causes great spacing problems. One is you know, as good of an athlete as we're going to play this year, absolute jumping jack. You know, in block shots, highlight dunks, attacks. You know, they 0 is really coming on. You asked me about individual guys, I'll go all the way through. 0 playing with a bunch of confidence, and then it just seems like Coach Young just finds like these big old rugged tough 5 men, and I feel like they got like 16 of them, and they just do their job, play hard and screen, and you know, it's just the typical Coach Young team that's playing their best at the right time of the year, and just got a ton of respect for them and for him, and we have to have a great couple days of preparation, and it's going to be a big time game, and for the 1000th time, put my marketing shoes on, get your butt to the young, we need you.
Have you been able to get Akanai back to practice as he's been, you know, doing this sickness?
Yeah, so we have him back in the building, which is great. He needs to eat a hamburger or two. I think Eli's working with him right now. He hasn't been cleared for basketball activity yet, so I don't have an update further than that, but it's great to see that big old smile and that energy that he brings to every room he walks into.
Ali Khalif has always been a nice shooter from deep, but he seems like he's kind of gotten on fire a little bit. How much more does that add to the team, you know, at both ends really, when he's effective like that?
Yeah, I mean, people have been asking me about that. I'm like, but he's been a good shooter his whole career. You know, he's on a little bit of a heater right now, a little bit, shooting it really well, just playing with confidence overall. And I think his shot going in is indicative of just the overall confidence that he's playing with, and you can just see it. He's doing a great job for us.
Coach, is Kaysen still dealing with some of the knee that maybe his confidence isn't back to 100%? And how can you guys get more out of him when he's on the floor against some of these, you know, Duke, Virginia, just the minutes have not been there?
Yeah, I give Kaysen a lot of credit because his process has been really good. His attitude has been really good. He continues to be a really good teammate. You know, his role is tough right now, and you know, he's doing everything that I would expect him to do. It's easy. It would be easy based on what his role has been a little bit to not be that way, and he's been a pro and a leader with the way he's handled it, and I'm really proud of him, and I expect him to continue to do that, and when his calls to go in there and play really, really, really well.
Pat, I guess just with the timeliness of Indiana winning the national championship, you see a program flip over in 2 years. I guess the state of college sports, you know, it's almost like you were in a somewhat similar situation taking over a year ago and the revival that you guys had. I guess, can you just talk about, I guess, the hope that it inspires coaches that, hey, you can win quickly, whether it's basketball, football, baseball, and what that ride in particular maybe inspired you or even your group?
You said with coaches, the hope that it inspires with coaches. I mean, I think more than anything, whether it's, you look at all the programs now, I mean, there is no, hey, wait a couple years. Like, it's, you expect to be good right away. And I think we've been an example of that. You mentioned Indiana football. I mean, gosh, you could go all the way down the line. What Ryan's doing at Virginia, I mean, you can just keep going. But the way it is with basically free agency every single year and transfer portal and stuff like that, like, you're expected to put a team together and compete right away. You mentioned Indiana. I mean, it's an awesome story. I mean, I think a lot of people know, and I'm not saying anything that people don't know, is there was a major investment in football. You know, just a poof happened. I mean, right, there's an investment as well, and they have a terrific leader and a terrific coach. I've enjoyed, you know, obviously when somebody's doing really, really well like that, like spotlight's on them, so there's a lot of eyeballs and there's a lot of content, if you will, that comes out that speaks to his beliefs and beliefs in his philosophy and beliefs in terms of culture. And I'm a sucker for that stuff. I love it. I study it. So I've enjoyed learning about him and what he believes, and a lot of that is what we do and what we believe as well.
Just with someone coming off such like a long layoff like Michael, I'm just wondering, like, where do you start with him as you're kind of, you know, slowly getting him back into the swing of practice?
You're saying like in practice?
Yeah, just kind of, you know, he hasn't been able to play any games since mid-December. Just kind of like, how do you kind of like slowly get him back into the swing of things in practice?
How are we doing it slowly?
Yeah.
We're just limiting his reps, and you know, he's not been practicing the full practice. We're just building him up slowly.
Anything else for Coach Kelsey? Great, thanks
All
guys.
right, thank you.
Thank you.